Hey, welcome to DG 2106, which is Document Design 1. And today we're going to be going over me creating the mobile ad for your week 7 assignment. And I know we've gone through several weeks of creating a brand and also using this brand to create other items and elements from them. And let me share my screen. Okay, and these designs did consist of our logo, and this is my logo I created for my company. And we've also created our letterhead. And after the letterhead, next week we created our business card, front of the business card, the back of the business card. We also created our billboard, and we also created our newspaper ad. And today this week we're going to be creating our mobile ad, and the mobile ad is for anything going to either to fit mobile devices, that be your tablets, that be your phone, or anything that's maybe handheld um, for the mobile device itself. So I'm going to just go over it, and I'm going to create this ad in Photoshop. So let's go to Photoshop, and I can actually open up the ad right now. But I'm just going to go through some tips and some tricks as far as actually um, showing you how I created mine, and then maybe this will help you with your own if you haven't done so yourself yet. So this ad right here is done in pixels, and so the image size on this is for mine it's going to be 800 by 1000, and then I think the instructions call for you to do have your logo on there. It also calls for you to have your contact information, as well as your URL, which is your website address, your slogan, your promotional messaging, and it also wants you to promote your Instagram page, your IG page as well. So I'm going to start from scratch on this and just show you a couple of ways that what I've done in order to get this job accomplished and achieved. So I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to New, and this file size is going to be 800 by 1000. Usually the resolution, they want it to be 72, but I will scale it down at the end. I'm going to make it at 150 because I want it to be real clear. And I don't want any pixelation, no heavy pixelation going on as I'm creating this particular ad. So once I get my specification down, and you can name them here if you want to, and I can just name it mobile ad and create RGB. Make sure it's in RGB. If it's in CMYK, that's going to be more so for printing. With RGB mode, RGB mode is for mobile devices, television, and also your phone. So hit create, and we have our layout right here. So the first thing I do is I like everything centered. And so I like to use my guideline. And so the way you will put a guideline dead in the center of the page, because what I want to do is once I put all my elements in here, I want everything to snap in the middle of the page once I drop it in there. So in order to get the guideline, you will click on this ruler, click, hold, and drag across, and the guideline will come in. And right in the middle, it's going to snap automatically. So you'll get that snap. And before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and hit file, and I'm going to save it. And so I'm going to save my folder as mobile ad. Hit save. Okay, now what I like to do is I've already got all my images. So wherever your images are from, pull your images. I've got all my images on my folder. So I'm going to open all my images first. And as we go, we're going to drop them in. So my images consist of a park, sky, a home, um, of course, my logo, and also my IG logo. So I'm just going to open up everything at one time. And we're going to do that. And so we've got our logo, we've got our background, we've got our clouds, we've got the house, we've got the IG, and we want everything to end up looking like this, right? And so let me show you how I layered everything up, drop everything in, and we can go from there. Now, first thing first, let me get my logo dropped in. And since this logo is it's a PNG file. Let's see. Well, this is actually my Photoshop file. So Photoshop file is already separated. So I can just take this file right here, drag it over onto my newly created page, and drop it right here. Now, I want to scale this thing down. So when you drop a logo or an image in, it's going to automatically give you the points around the edge. So I'm going to scale it down to fit the size of this particular page. So I'm going to click this middle point right here. I'm going to click, hold, and just drag it. You don't have to hold shift. You don't have to do anything. Just drag it down, and it's going to keep it in proportion with the actual ad itself. So I want to stretch it by yay wide like this here. And once I finish that, I'm going to double click on it, and then that's going to solidify it. Now I can also rename this layer and just put logo, which is what I'll do. So I want to kind of manipulate this logo just a little bit. So my logo, as you see, my pin drop with my home on it is smaller than the actual text itself on the logo. So what I want to do with that is I want to separate this from the rest of this right here. The way I do this, I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool. Make sure the layer is selected. Click around it because I want to take that out only. So I'm going to go to edit, cut. And I took it out of there, then edit. And I either paste it or I can paste it in place. We'll just paste it in place. You can do either one. So now I click on my selection tool. And now I can scale this down without scaling this text as well. So let's scale it all the way down like this here. And it's about the yay big right here. And notice that these points are lined up with these images, with the line, with the guideline itself. And so I'm going to take this Cozy Dreams, use my selection tool again, use my Cozy Dreams, pull it up here, let it remain on the line. I want to get rid of this right here, my little shadow underneath. So have that layer selected, and I can rename my pin drop layer. I can just name pin drop. I want to name that layer. Marquee tool again to get rid of this right here. I'm gonna zoom in on it. And I can just select around it. Once I select it, I can go to edit and delete, or I can just simply click on my keyboard and just hit delete, and it will remove it once I select the layer. So now I'm gonna move this up, the Cozy Dreams text up just a little bit more. And now we've got our text in here. And let me just look at my you can always go through and tweak it here and there. So it is kind of like, we're looking good right now. So we're looking good. Okay, so now I want to put let's go ahead and put my logo in there. My slogan, in there. And so I want my slogan the same color as the word cozy. And so I'm going to select my eyedropper tool, click on it, and that's going to give me the same color. So my logo, my slogan, is dream it, live it. And this is my slogan right here. So dream it, live it. Use my text tool, select your text, select my text tool, click in the middle here, and you can always adjust it and move it. Dream it. Live it. And this is the font. This is called a Montserrat font. Select my text, and I want to change this instead of extra bold. I want to change it to not medium italic, just a little bit heavier, semi-bold italic. And I want to make the font size a little bit bigger. And I'm going to scale it up just a little bit larger than it actually is. Now, got my slogan in there. Now what I want to do, I want to start adding other pieces. And sometimes you have to adjust to see if you got enough room on here. I'm gonna make this hand drop just a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna select that layer, and if you don't want to select the layer, you can actually use the move tool and just click on any elements, and it's gonna select the layer for you. So if I want to select the Live It Dream It text to make an edit to that, I can click on it. It'll select the oops. Let me do an undo on that one. The edit, and move to the edit, undo my transform. And I can just select on this itself, and it'll select the text for me. If I select on this, it'll select the layer, and then if I select on this, it's gonna select this layer again. So I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna make it just a little bit smaller, tweak it just a little bit, bring it up. So I make sure I have enough room for all of my elements that I want to put on my mobile ad itself. So, okay, so I've got my logo in here, so I can go ahead and close this particular file out. Save changes, no. And I want to drop in the park thing. Really, I just want to use the trees from this particular, I just need the trees because I'm gonna put my own sky. I want to put this particular sky on the back. Now I want to put this particular, they just need the trees from this particular image. So I want to see if I can remove the background from this without it having to remove all the trees. This is not a centralized subject matter on here, so it may act a little funky with me. So in order for me to remove the background, and you can do this for any image as well. In order for me to remove the background, I'm gonna select my background. I'm gonna click on this lock. And it's gonna just change it to a regular layer. For right now, it's a background layer. But if I click on that, it's gonna change to a regular layer. And then if you go to properties, down to quick actions, remove background. Let me see what happens. If it doesn't remove the sky for this, then I can always go in and use my see, it didn't do it. So now if I had another picture where I'm just trying to move a background, like say for example with a person or something like that, it might remove it then. But right now it didn't. So I'm gonna do undo on that, and let me use another method. So I want to use my magic wand tool to select the background, and the tolerance. Let me bump it up to 50. That should get all the blue part right here. So if I click, let's see, it's got a little bit more of this guy left. So what I can do is I can just hold my shift key down and click on this, and it'll remove. Or I can use my marquee tool on the piece. On the PC, it's going to be Control, but no, it's going to be Alt or Control. It's going to be Control. I think it is. You can go in and just remove the rest of this, or hit shift, click, hold, drag, and get rid of the rest of that. So now since the sky is just selected, I don't want the sky. So what I want to do is I want to go to select. I want to select the trees. So I'm going to go select, I want to go inverse. And when you inverse, that's gonna do everything except what's selected. So it's gonna select everything else that's outside of the sky you just selected. So now I'm ready to take these trees and move them over there to my actual ad itself. A couple of ways you can do this. You can click on the tree itself on the selected part, click hold, drag it over like this onto your other file, or you can go to edit, copy, go back to your ad, and then go to edit, and then paste. See if I make sure I had that selected. Edit, copy, go back to the ad, edit, and paste. Trying to see why they didn't put it in there. Anyway, we'll do it like I did the first part. Clicking and then we're gonna drag it over. Pretty sure there's a technical error on my part. So you got it in there. Now what we want to do, we want to scale it down. And as you see, if you zoom out, you will see how big it actually is. This image is this big right here. So we want to scale it all the way down. Click, hold, and drag on any one of these points. I'm gonna drag on the right point in the middle here. Take that down like that. Bring it down like this here. I'm gonna zoom back in. Just a little bit more. And I want to bring this down just a bit. So now we have our trees in there. And let's check on this ad real quick. Let's see if we're on the right going the right route. So we see, looks like we are. So got my trees in there. Scale it out just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Now, since we've got our trees in there, we're gonna go ahead and close this layer out. Hit no, don't save, and now we're gonna go ahead and bring in our sky layer. So, and like we've been doing everything, yeah, I can just click, hold, click, and then just drag it over onto this particular file. And right now, this is big as well. So I click, hold these points like I did with the trees, scale it down just a little bit, and then bring it up. Now, as you see, we have the clouds that are on top of the other layers. So, of course, you all learned, you all know Photoshop. But just drag it under, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to take it all the way down here to put the clouds and the sky behind there. So, okay, and you can, like I said, you can always go in and rename your layer. Put clouds for this layer, just in case you're getting confused. If you have a lot of layers, you want to know what you're actually selecting when you look through your layers palette. This particular layer, this is going to be trees, so I'm going to rename this trees. And as you know, periodically, you're supposed to go through, hit file, and save. Just to make sure nothing, if it does crash on you, you'll still have your file available. Now what we want to do is we want to add our home. So let's go back, go to house, and as we see, this looks like it's representing a background layer, but it's really not. So I'm going to do some similar to what I did with the trees there. Let's try this first before we try that. Let's try to remove the background from here. Let's see if it'll remove the background, just give me the home itself. So I want to click on this lock, unlock it where it turns it into just a regular layer. Go down to properties on your properties palette. Go down and remove the background. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it'll do it for me. Be nice to me that they do it for me. Looks like it actually did. So we've got the house selected. So to remove the background and just gave me the house only. So let's go ahead and let's drag the house onto our mobile ad. Of course, it may be a little bit bigger. Of course it is. I'm going to scale it down. So I'm going to zoom out. And as you see how big this home is, I'm going to scale it all the way down. I'm going to zoom in, scale it down. And you can always adjust your images in your actual file itself before you drag it over. But in this case, sometimes I just like to drag it in there, then adjust it on my actual piece itself. We got our home in here. So let's go ahead, let's close this out. You want to save? No. And it's actually shaping up. I'll make this home just a little bit smaller. Just what I want to do is I want to put my promotional messaging in there, right under the home itself. And just looking back, we want to take the trees up a little bit higher. Matter of fact, I'm going to scale it up just a little bit, so I have more of the trees, as well as have room for my promotional messaging. Now, I've got, let's go ahead and get rid of this clouds layer. Only thing left I had to add as far as my images are concerned is my Instagram logo. And so we're going to hold off on that for just a second. We want to add our bar here where all that our contact information is at. We want to add that in here. So the bar is going to be the color of dreams. So I'm going to select my eyedropper tool, click on this color. Then I want to select my rectangular tool, click on that, and just draw it, and it's going to actually create a new layer for it. So we've got our bar here, where we can drop our website address, our phone number, and our Instagram, our IG handle on here. So through these assignments, all assignments you made, these assignments should be fairly easier since you create the logo and also the business cards, the letterheads. You're pretty much using the same elements to create just different types of forms of materials, advertising materials. So you can still use some of the same elements from some of the same ads. So you want to, take all day or be all, on your pieces. That's perfectly fine. As long as the resolution is great, as long as it's crystal clear, the images are crystal clear, then you should be good. So our promotional messaging at the bottom is called one of our professional certified agents to get the home of your dream today. So I want to add that. I'm going to use my text tool. It's going to be the same color as my bar here and the color of dreams. I'm going to click right here, click, hold, and drag. And then I'm going to type in call. See, what does it say? Call one of our professional agents to get the dream home today. And I want to make sure you have it selected. Let me get it scaled down here. Scale that text down. I'm going to select my text layer and let me take it down to 1214. Okay. Select back in here, use my selection tool. I'm going to hit Control A or Option A on your keyboard if you have a Mac. On the PC, Control A to select all. And then I'm going to retype this again. Call one of our professional agent to get make sure all your spelling and all your no grammatical errors. So one of our professional agents to get your dream home today. I think that's it. think that's what it said. I want my professional certified agents to get the home of your dream today. I want my certified professional agent to get the home of your dream today. Already got today up here. So now we got that. I don't want this to be italicized, so I want to use a different type of font of the Montserrat. So I want to make this, let's make it black. And as you can tell, so if you zoom in on the text, it's not perfectly centered. So I want it to be perfectly centered. So I want to make sure this white dot lines up with my line here. So slide over like so, and see it's lined up perfectly now. I'm going to take it down just a little bit. Detail when you're creating, it's very important that you pay attention to details like this here. And I also want to adjust this just a little bit. There's a little bit of a space right here. I want to tighten up just a little bit. I want to select my text tool again, select this particular line, and I want to go to where my type is. Right now it's 14 point, and it's automatically, so it's going to automatically give you a number. I want to take it down. I want to make sure the spacing is 14 between there too. So I select it, and I select 14 under my current, I think it is. It'll just tighten up just a little bit. So, like I said, these are tips you can use when you're creating your own ads. I know we use Photoshop. We have things that we use in Photoshop that I may not use, that you may not use some of the stuff I use. But these are just things and elements that I think will help you as we finish out this 12 weeks, this particular module. So now, only thing we need now is we want to drop in our phone number, website address, Instagram handle, and we will have this ad just about completed. So our phone number is going to be 901-636-COZY. So let's, I want to make sure that this font color is going to be white. So I'm going to click right here, type in phone, 901 636 COZY. Now, I know you can't see it right now, so I'm going to select all. And I want to make sure that I click on this switch back and forth button, the foreground and background color. I switch it this way and I switch it back. It's going to it's going to make it white. Now, if you still don't see it, go over and check your layer and see where it is. So it's right below this rectangle. So just move this layer up. And you should see it then. Now, like I made a mistake, put 010, I'll make it 901. 901, and then I'll remove this second zero. And I'm going to change this to a bold italic, I guess. Yeah. And I'm going to take it down to 13 points. Well, it's not italicized. It's just looks like it's just regular bold or medium or semi-bold. We're going to make it semi-bold. Regular semi-bold. There we go. Now, website address is going to be CozyDreamsResidential.com. We're going to click on our eyedropper tool. This color right here. That's the color right. Website address. And we're going to put our text tool back down here again. And it's going to be Cozy Dreams Residential.com. I'm going to select it, go back and forth, toggle back and forth, my toggle color tool, front, foreground, background. And I want to make this black. And I want to, the font size, I want to take it up until it stretches almost to the end here. So just a little bit more. Okay. Everything is shaping up pretty good. Next, I want to put my Instagram handle, which is Cozy Dreams Residential at Instagram. And so instead of me using the type tool, you can always duplicate this layer right here, which is what I will do. My phone number, I can do it in my layers palette. So select this layer, drag it down to the plus in the box, and this layer is now duplicated. So if I drag this layer down beneath my website address, I have another layer. And I'll move this up just a little bit. Everything's a little bit tight right now. So, and then I'm going to select my new layer, bring it down to maybe 11. It's going to be semi-bold italic. And then I'm going to type in Cozy Dreams Residential. And that's going to be my IG handle. Take up just one more point. I don't want to put it to the edge, so you want to make sure you leave a little space down here. Matter of fact, how much room we're working with. I can bring everything up just a little bit. So to make sure I have enough room for my contact information at the bottom. Pick this layer up. Anytime you select tool, we have arrows on our keyboard, so you go up and down with your arrows if you want to, just to make it a little bit more precise. Select the Cozy Dreams layer. I'm gonna use my arrows to take it up just a little bit. And also this Cozy Dreams Residential Instagram. I'm gonna take it up to keep it from close to the edge. So we want to make sure our text is not close to the edge. We want to make sure we have a little buffer down here. That's the professional way of doing it. So, so we don't want our logo to run off the edge or close to the edge. And so anything that you have on the edge like that, when it comes to elements like logos and your text itself, that's a big no-no. So I'll leave it right there. So I now want to add in my IG logo. So we take it, drag it, come down here. As you see, it's in the back. We're going to bring it all the way up to the front. So the way we bring it all the way up to the front is just drag it up to the front, drag it up to the top. And using our move tool, if you zoom out, you'll see how big it actually is. So it's scaled all the way down. All the way down. All the way down to it's almost the same size as that Cozy Dreams line right here. And so there's a little something at the bottom here. You can always get rid of that by going to your rectangular marquee tool, selecting it, and deleting that out of there. We are almost there. So what I like to do too is I want to make sure that this Instagram icon and the text right here is lined up. And so you can go to your layers, and so this right here is my Instagram. So I'm gonna rename this layer Instagram. I'm gonna name it G logo. I'm gonna do it Instagram logo. So my Instagram logo and this Cozy Retro Dreams Instagram handle. Hit my shift key, and then both of these layers are selected. So when you have both those layers selected, you can use your alignment tool, and this alignment tool I only use to make sure that they're lined up perfectly centered horizontally. Click on that. Now they are. You see it jump just a little bit, and we can also center both of these pieces with both of them selected at the same time. Make sure these white dots are on this guideline right here, and I can just drag it over just like this here. As you see, it snaps. The line turns a fuchsia color. I can zoom in on just a little bit more just to make sure. Okay, that should be okay right there. Okay, that's perfect. Little details like this, when they're off a little bit, I just want to fix them, but you want everything to be perfect. So looks like we did. I just want to add. I just want to do one more thing. I'll just add just a little bit more depth to this. My pin drop right here, and as you see on the finished ad here, it's got just a little blur behind here. Just want to add that, just that little element right there. So the way I do that, select on the element itself, the pin drop, right click. I want to go to blending options. Where's my blending options at? Right here. Photoshop moved it around on me. And so now when you go to blending options, I want to go to drop shadow. So here's the drop shadow option. Click right here. As you see, it's got just a little bit of a drop shadow. You want to make sure if you check this right here and something else is selected, you want to make sure this whole layer is selected. So select this right here. I want to click on my blend mode. I want to be normal. But right now the distance is 2. I want to make it 0. The spread it out just a little bit. And as I'm making the changes, you can see the changes becoming in effect. This opacity, let's darken it up just a little bit so we can see what we're actually doing. Now my size is going to spread out like so. So I'm gonna make sure it's just a little bit light on the opacity side. And I think that is what I want right there. Click OK. And we have a finished ad. So go ahead and save it. And what I want to do is once we finish saving, I want to make this a JPEG image. So I'm going to go here on my layers palette, click right here, flatten my image, do a file, do a save as. Don't hit save because it's flattened, and then you won't have your Photoshop layer just in case you want to go in and make a change. So go to save as, and we want to select our JPEG and hit save. We can make it 10, so the file size won't be too large. So on a mobile device, it's gonna be okay if you hit 10 instead of the large quality. The file, it'll be easier to upload or anything like that to your Facebook page, Instagram page, or whatever other social media platform that you're using it for. So I'm gonna go to 10 and then hit OK, and that's our ad. So hopefully these tips and these tricks have actually helped you in some kind of way. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to seeing your mobile ads, and we're wrapping it up. We're more ahead than we are behind. So let's go ahead and let's get these things in. And if you have any questions, just contact me. And I have you have a great day. Thank you.